What is up, guys? It's Ian, all around the ball HQ here. And today we're going to be talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, my favorite team in the NFL. Um, have been for years. That's been my team. So today I want to talk about just the five big reasons why the Jacksonville Jaguars will win the AFC South. And really, it's best that I just go right into it because I the media has been starting to kind of hype the Jaguars up a little bit over the past week, and it's with good reasons. I mean, they have to kind of CYA, because if the Jaguars go and win the division, and they've been talking about this Trevor contract, and they don't at least talk a little bit about how good they can be. A lot of media is a lot of the media is going to be clowned. So let's go ahead and kick it off. And the number one reason why the Jaguars will win the AFC South is because they are healthy. Last year, their entire offensive line played one game together. The starting five played one game together. And a lot of their offensive issues boiled down to the offensive line. They had to call passing plays horizontally instead of vertically. Trevor had the quickest time to throw, which is a good thing, but also not because he was forced to be that, with how bad the offensive line was. And now their starting five is healthy. Cam Robinson will not have that 4-game suspension coming into the league. Coming into this season, I should say, not coming into the league, but that's the easiest and number one reason why the Jaguars are gonna have the chance to win the AFC South. Christian Kirk and Zay Jones missed multiple games. Kirk missed, I think, like the last 5, 6. They were 8-3 when he went down, I believe. Um, Zay Jones missed quite a few games with injuries all season long. Tyson Campbell missed multiple games at the beginning of the year. Andre Cisco was hurt multiple games to start off the year. Cam Robinson missed the first 4 and then had a couple injuries middle of the season. Left guard play, like I said, that was another big issue, which is why they traded for Ezra Cleveland. They got Mitch Morse coming in. So healthiness, obviously, they need to stay that way, but they have a lot of potential here. Dewan Smoot was also injured, which he's not back with the team, but we're really hoping that some of these guys, Devon Hamilton was hurt all year. Really hoping these guys can come in and make a name for themselves. These guys that are replacing these players. And number 2, this was an 8-3 team with an offense that did not look like an 8-3 team. And the reason I say this is because we kept saying, damn, they could be so much better. And it was because of the offensive line. Now Mitch Morse replaces the 33rd best center in the league. Do I think that's enough? We'll see. I do actually like Luke Fortner as a backup. He's got plenty of experience. Hopefully we don't have to put him in, but we've got the depth, in my opinion, now at the offensive line position, all 5, that if something were to happen, I think we'd be okay for a game or 2. We did not have that last year, which is why we traded for Ezra Cleveland. To me, Walker Little, I looked back at their Texans game that made them 8-3. It was very sloppy O-line play. If you really go back, actually, there's a YouTube video by the O-line that kind of go in depth, and Walker Little had a bunch of miscues, but it is possible that the center kind of gives everybody the assignment that he possibly gave him the wrong assignment on the line. So those positions have been fixed, in my opinion. Another reason that they're going to be better, with their 8-3 offense not clicking, is going to be reason number 3. And that's that the Jaguars have improved the positions of need. Right? Part of the reason the offense wasn't clicking is because they had guys, Ridley, Zay Jones, who did not fit the offense as well as the players coming in. I mean by that, Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis improved the roster tremendously. Not because they're better than Calvin Ridley, which Brian Thomas Jr. definitely has the capability of being better, but he hasn't played a snap yet, so I am not going to disrespect Ridley in that regard. But they are better fits for the offense. They have the potential to take the top off of defense, which is something the Jaguars have not had since Allen Robinson Jr., or the second. So you improve the positions of need on offense. Mitch Morse comes in to replace Luke Fortner. Brian Thomas Jr. and Gabe Davis replace Zay Jones and Calvin Ridley. Both the best draft prospect and the best in the NFL at yards per catch. They go down the field, and that's what they're good at. Now, Brian Thomas Jr. can probably improve at the underneath stuff, but for this year, we actually do not need that because Christian Kirk and Evan Ingram excel underneath, and that is why they will be much improved. And now I don't want to just talk about the offense because the defense has improved in a lot of areas as well. Jerry and Jones, very good pickup for them. That's what they needed. They needed a good corner to replace Darius Williams. And that's what they got. Ronald Darby replaces Darius Williams. A younger, better fit for the defense player. I'm not saying he's going to be better than Darius Williams because Darius Williams just had a career year. But Tyson Campbell, Darby, and Jerry and Jones is a very good cornerback group. And their depth is pretty good too. Looking at that interior line, Eric Armstead. This isn't talked about enough, how much he's going to help this defense. The Jacksonville Jaguars edge duo between Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker led the league in sacks, yet they were ranked in the bottom 25 in sacks as a team. That's going to improve in year 2024 with the addition of Armstead and with a year 3 Trayvon Walker. Another reason, which is the reason number 4, another reason also that the Jags defense is going to be probably elite. I'd definitely say top 10, but it's definitely going to be close to elite and could be elite. The Jaguars have one of the best defensive coordinators in the league now. Ryan Nielsen doubled Atlanta's sack total. And if you look at Atlanta's defense, good secondary, honestly. They have some solid pieces in the secondary, solid linebackers, and Grady Jarrett. Their D-line is nothing other than Grady Jarrett. And they went from 21 sacks in 2022 to 42 sacks in 2023. And Grady Jarrett was hurt for part of the year. I think he missed a game or two. So you combine that with the talent on this team. Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead, Foyesade Aluakon. Devin Lloyd, who's going to have a breakout year this year. Tyson Campbell, Andre Sisco, Antonio Johnson, Darnell Savage, Ronald Darby, Jerry and Jones. This is a scary defense. This is not a defense that teams aren't going to have to prepare for. They're going to be a faster defense. They're going to be a stronger defense. And they're going to go after the quarterback better than they have ever had other than 2017. Reason number 5, probably one of the most important reasons, actually. The eyes are not on them. The Jaguars historically have done better when they are not expected to win their division. Now, as fans, we do expect them to win the division. The media is not hyping them up. You don't, other than Trevor Lawrence's contract and Josh Allen's contract, you don't hear about the Jaguars on TV like you did last year. Because they ended the season so well 2022 and started the season so good 2023. So the eyes are not on them. All the eyes are on the Texans, and when you hear about the division and who could possibly win it, it's the Colts. Texans are the bona fide top 4 team in the NFL, gonna win the division. Colts are a sleeper. That's exactly what the NFL says. That's what the NFL says. That's what the media says. Turn on ESPN, NFL Network, whatever you watch your football news on. They're talking about the Texans being a juggernaut and the Colts being a sleeper because Anthony Richardson is coming back. And they think that Anthony Richardson out the gate, he only had 4 games, but Anthony Richardson out the gate is supposed to be better than what Gardner Minshew was doing with the Colts. Now, Anthony Richardson is an elite talent, can be an elite talent. However, don't discredit the benefit of playing a full rookie year in that. He did not get to play a full rookie year. He got to learn the offense from the sidelines, but now he's going to have to go out there and actually execute. Anthony Richardson didn't get those rookie moments out the way where the defense is trying to trick you. He didn't get that. And honestly, Gus Bradley's defense in practice, I doubt, is doing that too. They don't have a very dominant style of defensive play calling, in my opinion. Which is why I think we do so good against that zone defense they run. They're a bend, don't break, but the Jags in the past have been able to bend them to their limit. And Anthony Richardson, like I said, did not get his rookie moments out the way. Now, their draft was solid, but they didn't pick up anybody in the offseason. They actually kind of lost. Well, I don't know if they lost anybody, but they didn't pick anybody notable up. I know they were in the running for L'Jarius Sneed, but they didn't get him. And then the Texans, they did have a great season last year. There is absolutely no doubt about that they exceeded expectations. C.J. Stroud came out and became what could be the Texans' greatest quarterback they've ever had. And, granted, the bar is not extremely high. It is kind of because of Deshaun Watson. He was always close to MVPs when he was playing. But now they have a tough schedule. They went from having one of the easiest schedules to now one of the toughest in the league. They have to play Kansas City. They have to play the Lions. So that is why I'm not worried about the Texans. I don't want to say I'm not worried about them. That's actually the wrong term. That's why I am not as high on the Texans. And it's not even because I'm a Jags fan. It's because they now have a tough schedule. There's now tape on CJ Stroud. And you've added pieces. They lost a lot in free agency. Now, they got it all back with better players. But if you think about it, now they have to relearn. They have to get the chemistry down. And their offense is a very timing-friendly offense. If they're not in sync, it's not going to work. That's part of the reason why CJ Stroud is so good, is because they have imagine dropping a CJ Stroud or a Joe Burrow or a Patrick Mahomes in the 49ers offense, where you're surrounded by some solid players, but the play calling is just elite. I would imagine, in those types of offenses, there's 20 or so QBs that could perform at a high level. Not saying CJ Stroud doesn't deserve what he's getting, but that offense is a timing-based offense, and he perfected it last year. So we'll see if they can do that again. They have to repeat their success. Same thing I said about the Jags from 2022 into 2023. It's the exact same season almost. Trevor was playing at that elite level, and honestly, you can say, well, that was year 2 Trevor, that was year 1 CJ Stroud. We're not talking about the Urban Meyer year. Honestly, come on. If Trevor Lawrence would not have had that Urban Meyer year, it would have been the exact same. So, with that being said, that's the 5 reasons I believe that the Jacksonville Jaguars will win the division in 2024. Take that with Trevor Lawrence getting paid and not having to worry about, like, there is zero, like, they just have to go out and perform. Okay, last year had a rusty receiver coming off that very high expectations. And I think that's a lot what crumbled, but also the injuries they faced last year. Hopefully they don't do that this year. That's going to be like the deciding factor. If the Jaguars come out with some big injuries, that's going to be a problem. But they did do solid improving the depth on the team. But, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is our first official video. And, of course, it's a banger because the Jaguars will win the AFC South. Why did I just say NFC South? The Jaguars will win the AFC South. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.